Good evening, everyone. Welcome in, and thanks for joining us this evening. You're watching Seeing the Unseen with Christopher LaPrath, and I do the introduction. My name's Kenan, and I'm the producer of the show as well. So, really big thank you to everyone here who's supporting the show and sponsors, especially. I want to really just express a very deep and profound sense of gratitude that I have for each one of you, and just thank you for being here. It means so much that you're here listening to us, and we always do our best to come up with something helpful to say. And tonight, the title of the show is "What's Your Blind Sight?" And my dad will get into that a little bit here, but what I wanted to say is specifically relating to wants versus needs. So oftentimes the two can get confused. For myself, I know that's something I've struggled quite a bit with over the years, and learning as a young man, like what I really do need to be successful and function versus what do I think I want. And most of the time, my wants have not lined up with what I've actually needed. So a big point that came up while we were discussing this is that by wanting something and chasing after it, it is then putting it in the frame of reference where whatever the thing is that you want is running away from you. So why would that have to be the case when we're these creator beings and we're creating reality around us? So just by resonating with whatever the thing is that we want, we can then draw that into our experience, and it magnetizes those experiences to our life simply by thinking about them with the right feeling behind it, that power of love, right? So that's most of what I have to say there. I would say the other big thing is that if we do want something, that there's some future version of us that already has it. So knowing that, it's just a sense of gravity and allowing the universe to, again, draw us to that experience and really live these fulfilling lives that we all are meant to. So that's all I have to say tonight. Just quick note for anyone who's here for the first time, we're always happy to do a free reading. And going forward from there, it's $10 a reading, and then it's $100 for the month if you want to do a reading for every single show. And with that, I'll turn it over to Christopher LaPrath. Thanks again for tuning in.
Happy Wednesday, everybody. Thank you for being here. Welcome. And Tony from the Fleece Agency, thank you for sponsoring the show. Thank you, Brick Road Coffee, for sponsoring the show. Thank you, every one of you, for your contributions that help us keep the show going. It's really amazing. Great gratitude to you. Great energy back at you. Okay? So, if you do need a great website, if you need a branding, a marketing plan, call or get in touch with thefleeceagency.com. Fleece Agency, it's not it's just fleeceagency.com. FELICE agency.com. So, what is your blind sight? Well, first of all, let me explain blind sight. There are people that are born or that are cortically blind. Their eyes cannot process, or that part of the brain that does the vision is not working, so they really can't process images with their eyes. But what does process the images is the parietal lobe, this area of the brain that does the sensing. Blind sight. I'll give you an example. And you can actually watch some of these on YouTube. Just YouTube Blind Site and look at some of the stories. A gentleman named Tien, born blind, had that cortical blindness, but he could maneuver through hallways with furniture, rooms with furniture, no problem. Turn around, turn hallways, turn corners. If you throw a ball at these people, they'll catch it. Even though they can't see with their eyes. He could see, this gentleman could see, or people that are cortically blind or have blind sight, they can see, but they're just not aware of it. So, maybe you can't see. Maybe you can. What aren't you aware of? That's what this show, that's what this program is about. Consciousness has little to do with the visible or visual sight that we have. As we've said before in the show, our ability to see the light spectrum is 1/10 of 1% of what the whole entire light spectrum consists of. So we see actually visually very little of the light spectrum. But instead of observing and consciously processing information, our brains work autonomously. They take input and process it on their own. And we are aware of only a fraction of the brain. So here's another thing. I'm going to show you my finger. Okay? See my finger? I don't know if you can see the fingerprint. Now, look at your fingerprint. If your fingerprint isn't like my fingerprint, then it's no good. Cancel, clear, delete. I'm using that as a metaphor. We all know that no one's fingerprint is exactly the same. They found that with the brain. My brain is in no way like your brain. Your brain is like no one else's in your family. Our brains are like fingerprints. And so the point is people say to me a lot of times, oh, I wish I could see angels. I wish I could see dead people. But what if they're sensing them in another way? And so this is expanding your awareness, expanding your blind sight, that you can trust your intuition. Your intuition is growing. Your brain is growing, and your capability of your brain is growing. And this group that we're forming here is really important because we light each other up. So again, thank you very much for being here. Which then brings us to lighting the incense. I always light the incense. If any of you new ones are joining us tonight, sending you great, great blessings. And I will remind you, if you're going to order incense, order really good incense off of Amazon. Read the reviews, and it may be a little bit more expensive, but believe me, it's worth it. The incense from Tibetan Bhutan here that I get, it doesn't bother me, but it actually cleans the area. Okay, here we go. So now we're ready for the group card. The group card tonight is Moonlight. And what I love about this show is Ken and I both intuitively go in to go, okay, what is it that we can share with the group that's going to be really helpful? And we talked again, like he was talking about needs and wants. We're talking about blind sight. This card, this Moonlight card, is about your intuition. And the intuition that you have, like blind sight, allows you to see past the mundane, visual, physical obstacles that we encounter every day. The logical, the analytical, it allows us to see around the object or to move around the object. Or maybe we're not even aware there's an object there, but we're able to maneuver around it. Maybe we intentionally, unintentionally, lose our keys. We've talked about this before on the show. You can't find your keys, but it delays you 5 minutes. You finally find them. But perhaps it's your awareness, your blind sight, that sees down the road and that you would have potentially gotten into an accident had you left at the time you'd planned to leave. And so maybe your keys were right there on the counter, but you didn't see them because your blind sight was going around them. Your hunches are falling right on target. Trust your hunches. Are you willing to let go of second guessing yourself? Are you willing to let go of second guessing yourself? Are you willing to see around obstacles? Are you willing to see another way? Intuition uses the language of symbolism. Excuse me. Of symbolism. It comes through as a hunch. It comes through as a tingling, as a gut feeling, as a sensation. And that's very symbolic. It can't be named or labeled or sometimes even described. Trust those feelings. That's what this moon card is coming up. This is Spirit. This week, starting after this show, sending you messages. And I want to hear about these messages. So text me, email me, call me. Let me know about these messages. Okay. That's the group card for tonight. Who's on first?
John's first. Start with,
John is first. Okay. Let me find a deck for John. I use a lot of different decks. Okay. I think I found a good one, John. So this is an example of my blind sight of pulling a card and it having just the right, perhaps, meaning at exactly the right time. Sometimes these cards, when I pull the card, you're like, I don't get it. Just wait a day or two. Okay. So, John, are you willing to let go of defining your life by time? Okay, who's next?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go. I'm just kidding. Focus on what you have. Know that the universe, and stop chasing what it is you feel you want. Allow it to come to you. This is the Patience card. And that hurried feeling, that anxiety, any frustration of things not working out, when you focus on that, again, the universe goes to you, oh, I guess John wants more of the frustration because that's what he's focusing on. That's where his energy is going. Okay, we'll give him more of that. And it continues on. This is letting go of that and going, hey, you got this, universe. Okay? Santa Claus is going to be here tonight. I get to unwrap presents in the morning. He's not going to be here at 3 p.m. for me to unwrap presents tonight. No. These stories have timetables, right? And so this is the universe. Just be patient. Okay? Have some cookies and milk while you're waiting. Be patient. Okay, here we go.
Laurel's next.
Hey, Laurel. So we had John in Wyoming, Laurel in Texas. So the heart heals. One of your blind sights, Laurel, one of your gifts is saying the right thing at the right time to the right person that needs to hear things. I'll give you an example. So last night a cap fell off my tooth, but I didn't want to go back to the dentist I'd been going to, so I looked up on the internet. I found a dentist 2 minutes away from my house, and it was a new dentist. Well, as I was sitting there in the waiting room, the receptionist was coughing and coughing. I go, "Are you okay?" She's like, "I don't have COVID. I have stage 4 cancer, lung cancer. And in fact, I was just diagnosed a couple of days ago. I'm going for a protocol today, and I'm leaving here in the next 10 minutes. If I had been 10 minutes late, I wouldn't have met her. But I was able to get her phone number and say some really profound words that helped her. You could see a look on her face. And the fact that I got her phone number, I'm going to be texting her and sending her some great blessings and great energy. So what caused my cap to fall off my tooth? What caused me to go to that particular dentist and be there early enough to catch the receptionist for her to tell me that, for me to even ask if she was okay? So my point is that there are these synchronicities, Laurel, that are going to be happening, and one of your gifts, one of these blind sights that you've done automatically, but it's important to be aware of, is to help heal people's hearts. Because you know why? You've had your heart broken and it's been repaired. So this is something that is a gift of yours that you will be developing. Now, how that comes about, universe, show me how. Okay, who's next?
Yeah, Miguel is on.
Hey, Miguel. This is the Door to Spirit card. You could go to any camping store and buy a tent and camp out at the Alexandrian Library. or the Dublin Library, any library that has literally millions of books. And when situations arise, you can look up the answer. Or you could save a few $100s and a travel ticket to those places by not buying the camping equipment, by not going to these libraries, and trust Spirit. Trust that these answers are given to you like an open door. And then when you're done with them, it's like they come in the front door. When you're done, they go out the back door. If you need them again, they'll come back around. Front door, out the back door. You are Spirit. You are connected to Source. The answers don't lie outside, they lie within. Trust that you are the authority of that. Okay.
Excellent. So next is going to be Doreen.
Hey, Doreen. And I think, is Tony still with you?
Well, Tony's next. Yeah. Not sure if he can probably pull a card for you too.
Okay, so we'll pull a card for Doreen. Here comes Doreen. Here comes Doreen. You ready? Here it comes. And then we'll do Tony afterwards. The rainbow card. Happy family card. So, I think we did this too, Doreen, in your private reading. Are you willing to do this now and call upon the wisdom of your ancestors? The wisdom that will benefit you to your highest and best. This is viewing everybody that's going to be viewing your show as family. Because actually, we all are related. Genetically, we're all distant cousins to some extent or another. But this is, I love it because it's walking on the beach. It's what you're doing right now with Tony. And there's a family relationship there with Tony. And be very conscious about who you adopt now. You don't have to adopt the whole world, okay? You don't have to take care of everyone else's needs. This is just being mindful about who you let into your circle. Be very mindful of that. And work out your trust muscles. About who you're dealing with or who you're letting into your inner circle. Okay, good. We've got Tony. So Tony, call upon Raphael to heal you. Raphael, it's the fourth angel, fourth chakra. It's the heart chakra. So, Laurel, send some healing energy to Tony. This is moving out of your head more into the heart area. So yes, the head is like your home in the Hamptons. But your heart is like your home in San Diego. This is where the heart is another center that's going to be opening up, but it anywhere, Tony, where anyone or anything has come in to attack the heart, are you willing to let go of that and send it away, never to return? Kill it, send it away, whatever it is, however you want to term it. And allow no access to your heart unless you allow it. Also, there's something with adventuring. Adventuring is a green stone. I need to look that up later, or maybe Kenan can look it up while we're on the show. But it's called adventuring. Okay, who's next?
Next is going to be Marilyn and Abby. Let's do a full card for Tim.
Okay, is Tim here?
I don't know for sure.
Okay. So we'll pull a card for Tim. Okay, you can watch the show later, okay? Tell Doreen, tell Tim that, all right? We'll pull a card for Tim. What's that?
Tim was in Phoenix the other day.
Oh, okay.
We were at the
Okay. So, Tony, Doreen, everybody on the show, if you want to, if you'd like to, just take a minute and send Tim some peace. Send Tim some love. Laurel, get on that heart thing with Tim. This is an opportunity for us to start exercising that blind sight. And for Tim to not look at the obstacles in front of him, like the chair, visually, but simply to use that parietal lobe, that sensing lobe. He's got a really good sensing lobe, and walk around that chair, knowing that there really are no obstacles, that the universe, the source has this. Okay? Good.
Thanks. So next is Marilyn and Abby.
Okay, Marilyn and Abby. Oh, this is so funny. So Marilyn and Abby just bought the most amazing motorhome. I think it's called a Thor. But this is the journey card. It's very symbolic, Abby, Marilyn, that you bought this, because it's very symbolic of the spiritual journey that both of you, you've always been on the spiritual path, but it's been really narrow. Boom. This is a 10-lane highway that you're moving on. You're moving from this kind of rickety bridge to this solid concrete highway where things will be coming to you and you'll be moving along at a very fast pace, but it'll be like second nature to you. You know, when they invented cars, they were told, the people that invented them were told that if the car went over 20 miles an hour, it would cause permanent brain damage to the humans riding in the car. That's what they believed. That was the limit. That was their very tight construct of what that limited space was going to cause. This is about you opening up on this journey. Okay? Okay. So that was really for both of you, and I'll pull a card here for both of you as well, for Abby. Not everything can be explained like a man. You know how men tend to want to explain everything? So it reminds me, what they're showing me, Abby and Marilyn, is the show Bewitched. It was one of my favorite shows growing up, where Samantha would just, there'd be these men that were in advertising, and they'd be, pompous and whatever. And then Samantha would just, do this, and it would knock them out of their reality. Even if it was for a second, that's progress. You're here to knock people out of their reality, even if it's for a brief second. Okay? And in no way, shape, or form should please be free of ever feeling like you failed because people didn't stay in that for 5 minutes or for 10 minutes. Maybe it was only for 30 seconds. You got through. Somehow, some way, where we all know this, that if enough lessons of the same kind start piling up, eventually we get it. Or not, we'll get it the next lifetime. But the point is, give yourself some credit for helping people get out of their heads. And if they want to join you on this 10-lane superhighway, let them do it. But if they only want to join you for a mile, that's okay. They were able to experience this for at least a mile. All right. Here we go.
Sweet. Yeah, next is Lindsay.
What's that?
Lindsay's next.
Hey, Lindsay. Okay. So Lindsay's going to watch the show later. Lindsay, you have some of the most beautiful children on the planet. They just need a little bit of extra love and care, because kids worry about the strangest things. When Kenan was a little boy, he used to wake up in the middle of the night screaming because he was scared of the street sweeper. Well, it made no sense to us because there weren't really street sweepers at that late of night. But one day we realized that when you're laying on your side and your ear is plugged up, let's say to your arm, you're hearing your own pulse. You're hearing that swish, 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 which sounds like a street sweeper. So we rearranged his bed, and he didn't really ever have that problem or that situation again. So there are things that children perceive that seem silly to us, but they're not. So this is your youngest. And getting her some kind of a super soft plush animal, stuffed animal, is really kind of important. I don't know why, but talk to her about some of these things that she's thinking about, but she really is an angel of love. both of your children are, but she just needs a little bit of extra attention. Okay, and
Maryland P's next. Maryland Pitts.
hey, Marilyn. Maryland's in North Carolina. Rev Maryland is in South Carolina. So Maryland, keep cleaning your house. So in other words, if you clean your house pretty good, but then you're coming across, you come across this ad for this vent cleaning company. This company will come and clean your vents. You go, oh, I never even thought about cleaning my vents. So we've talked about this before in your private reading. Sage often. Incense every day. You want some high vibrational stones. You want to invest in selenite, obsidian, kyanite, and put them throughout the house. You can use them as decorations. You can put them in the corners of your house. And in no uncertain terms, when you put salt at your door, at your front door, your back door, your garage door, I just draw a line of salt. Like every couple of weeks or every month or so, I'll replace the salt in the front door, the garage. And then I say in no uncertain terms, nothing and no one nothing and no one that is not for my best and highest will enter here. Because one of your blind sights is this ability with spirits, like ghosts, and tell them to progress, tell them to move on, that where they're at or why they're around you because of your light, tell them to move on. They're not serving you to your best and highest, and including energies that have happened to you in the past from people. Move those energies on. I talked about this before in the show. There are intersections here in Phoenix that the police have kept track of. So if there's an accident at one intersection, maybe a week later there's 2. 3 weeks later there's 4, 8, and the intersections then begin to accumulate energy where there's more accidents. So there are churches that go out and pray over these intersections. All of a sudden there's no accidents. So when any of us have had anything traumatic happen in our lives, pray, have someone pray with you, use your sage and move any of that energy, any of that cursing, any of that violence, any of that meanness away from you now. Okay, good. Who's next?
Next is Austin.
Austin. Awesome. It's funny, the dentist I went to today, his name was Austin. I thought of you, Austin. Great card. So we can sometimes think of a great idea. A year ago, my friend said to me, you need to be on Twitch. Again, I didn't know what Twitch was. But if I just come home and thought about it, nothing would have happened. I had to actually go out, try it. I had to go out and do it. It's about taking the action needed. So, universe, show me now what is for my best and highest, and show me what to do next. Show me what action to take. Direct me now to the right people. Direct the right people to me. Make this or something better happen. This is about you taking action, and it's going to bring, it's a 17 card, Austin. So it's the 8, which at 1 and 7 add up to 8, which is the abundance card. Then, with your abundance, what are you able to contribute back to fellow humanity or to the earth? What are you able to affect and help on the earth or the earth itself? Like, what is your passion? Is it the whales? Is it cleaning up the trash? Is it purifying the air? Find something that you're really passionate about. The trees, whatever it is. And then tell the earth, and the earth makes it happen. Okay, who's next?
This is Cat and Geo.
Hey, Kat. Hey, Geo. So I'm reading a book right now, and the pyramids were created long before what they previously thought when they were created. So Jared, one of your blind sights you've told me before you can't really remember your childhood or your past. What if that's your blind sight? What if you can actually see in another way, not only this lifetime, but many, many previous lifetimes, and bring that knowledge forward? I just got chills. You can order Kenan drinks. Is it called Blue Lotus tea?
Yeah, Blue Lotus is good.
Yeah. Jared, you can order online. It's called Blue Lotus tea. As you're clearing, the more you're clearing, and the energies that, the perceptions of how you used to view the universe, as all that's all clearing, these gifts, this birth, this blind sight is coming to you. Okay, Kat, here we go. Kat, know unequivocally, Spirit, your angels, your guides care for you. Are you willing to see them in a different way? If you know that you're absolutely cared for and you're loved, you know that you're going to be taken care of. Are all of us willing to absolutely, unconditionally trust that we are taken care of? That these angels spirits, and beings that are really inconceivable to us. We as humans don't completely understand the brain. We don't even know a tenth of the ocean, let alone outer space, let alone the metaphysical world. But this is this childlike trust, Kat, and knowing things are going to work out and even better than you can imagine. So, universe, give me this or something better, and remain open to that hug. Remain open to that universal hug. Are all of us willing to do that? The universe hugs us every day. Your birth site is to feel that hug, not just Kat. Okay, who's next?
Awesome, yeah, that's everybody. Okay, there's a few people out there, like
Okay.
Allison Rice and Karen Hill, French Willie.
Okay. So, if you'd like a reading, you can. By the way, thank you for all of your support. But just let us know if you have any questions. You can text me, call me. You can book your own private reading with me. It's usually an hour to 90 minutes, depending on the subject matter. But we'll do this again Sunday. And if you have any questions, any concerns, let me know. And we'll see you Sunday night. Great love to you all.